Boom! So what is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. So in today's video we're going to be installing a cold air intake on my S2000. So here it is, the AEM cold air intake. For those OG subscribers from day one or within the first few weeks of me making these videos, you guys will know that I used to run the AEM cold air intake before I got defected and had to remove it to get the roadworthy. But here it is. It's similar to the other intakes like engine and the rest that run down where the wheel area is. And yeah, so basically two pieces, you join it up and yeah, you basically have it. Let's pull in the car and then I'll get into it. Alright guys, just put the car in the garage, open the hood, and I'll show you guys what the stock airbox looks like for those who don't know. So here it is, here is the stock S2000 airbox or intake, which is right in front of the engine bay. So basically the pod filter is hidden in here. If I undo these, you'll see it. So there it is, there's how the stock intake sits. Basically just from that area down here, and it sits right here next to the engine bay. And I don't know if the cover's just there for, you know, like standard safety standards, or if it's just there to actually help like cover the heat from the engine bay. But you know, the other intake runs from here as well, straight down, but instead of sitting where the hot air is, because you know the engine's here that produces heat, so instead of sitting right there, it'll come down here, straight down here, and it sits somewhere in between there near the wheel arch. So it's gonna get more cold air from there, as you know it's lower to the ground and there's not much heat produced as when it's in the engine bay. So a lot of people change to aftermarket cold air intakes to give the car better airflow, because usually aftermarket intake systems are better than the stock one. So basically, you know, cold air intake just gives the car like better airflow and lets the car breathe better. And the aftermarket one also gives a better sound or better growl than the stock one. Also, some people say it gives power, some people say it doesn't, but yeah, I'm not too sure on that one. Everyone has their own opinion on that one. Usually it's only like 3 to 4 kilowatts anyway, so you probably won't feel a difference. But today I'm just installing it for the sound and, you know, to get a bit more better airflow into the car. Alright, so enough of me talking, let's do the fun bit and, you know, attempt to install this. Alright, so this little piece will sit somewhere like this or like that, facing down, and then the big piece will connect to this end, and it's like an L shape, so it'll drop down in here, it'll come down there, and it'll drop once again in between that gap over there. So here's how the big piece looks, and that's how it will sit. And the little one will connect right there like I said before. So there it is, guys. Everything from the stock airbox is now taken out, as you can see, and look how empty the engine bay is now. So even with the aftermarket intake, the engine bay is still empty, as like I said, the intake comes down like this, down and straight down there. So, you know, everything is now out, and I can officially start figuring out how to put in the AEM cold intake. Also guys, I forgot to mention at the start, if this is your first time installing intake like the AEM engine, or is it Fujita or something like that, or similar concept, you will need to cut your fender lining, as the pod filter needs to come through and sit in front of the wheels. So basically, because I've already installed this, I've cut it before, but as you can see right here, the pipe goes there, down, and it needs to come out here. So what happens is, I gotta cut this dodgy shit first. So what happens is, you have to cut like a hole here, or a little flap. As you can see, I've already done it. And then the pipe here, right there, if I can grab it. So here it is guys, as I was saying, you need to cut the little square there, or circle, whatever you want, you know, you can even cut a rectangle if you want, because the pipe needs to come through. So right there, I've cut like a little flap, or my cousin cut it back then, and we just fed the pipe through, and now the pod filter will sit right here. So if it's your first time, you will need to cut it, it's a must, there's no other way to do it. So yeah, you gotta sacrifice a bit of your fender lining. Alright guys, there it is. The AEM cold air intake is now installed. As you can see, we ran the pipe down and the pod filter sits right there. So that's how it looks, and I'm going to pack everything up and then we'll go for a little test drive. I'm not too sure if you guys will be able to hear it, as I've got an exhaust system, so I'm not too sure. I know that on stock exhaust you can definitely hear it, and it sounds really deep and really nice. So after like I think about 3,000-4,000 RPM, when you pull your foot down past a certain limit, you know, it just growls and it sounds 100 times way better than stock. But like I said, with the J's Racing exhaust, I'm not too sure if I'll be able to hear it. So only one way to find out, which is to go for a drive after cleaning everything up. Well, you guys, forgot to mention, I got to put on this AEM condom for the pod filter. Psych, it's just a shield. So basically these shields make it water resistant, because you know, chances of the intake being down here, that it's got a sucking water. So you know, you don't want your engine to hydrolock. This doesn't work 100%, but I'll take any chance to save my car from hydrolocking. So we're going to chuck this shit on. Alright guys, so I lied, I've got one more step, which is to hide this sensor here. I'm not too sure what sensor it is, but that used to be attached to the stock box, and what we did last time was just, you know, cable tie it to the actual strap bar, so you know, you would just see it hanging there. But the thing is, I'm not putting the strap bar back on, so I gotta figure out where to put this. So there's a little bracket there and a bracket there, it doesn't reach, so I might just cable tie it, or I might cable tie everything and, you know, hook it down here or something, because I don't want it being caught in the belt, otherwise that's a later bolt. So I'm gonna, yeah, figure out where to put this. Alright guys, so first start, hopefully I installed everything right. Let's have a sauce. Sound the same. Alright guys, so just about to drive or just took off from the garage, and it sounds the same, but I haven't really hit VTEC or driving high RPMs yet, so we're gonna go test that out. Yeah, I'm not too sure because it's Friday night, you know, a lot of cops are out, so I'm not too sure if I'm actually gonna hit it hard. So I'll get some VTEC runs or some runs like with high RPMs, and then yeah, I'll show you guys.
If this makes it in the vlog, I just want to say almost 200 subscribers, we lit, and mine's got a fat dick.
Hey.
Tomorrow.
Boom guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. So the AEM intake install was successful and it's sounding 100 times way better. So you can't really hear it when you're driving normally, as you know, I've got a J's Racing exhaust, and I also remember even with the stock exhaust I couldn't really hear it until you actually put your foot down past a certain limit. So with the J's Racing exhaust you can still hear it, but it's not as loud as if you were on the stock exhaust, so it's still 100 times way better than the stock airbox. So the intake install was pretty good, it was pretty smooth, but the only problem I had was putting my front bar back on. Some of you may know that the AEM front bar has like a little groove or two slits, and when you look at it from the back of the bumper, it has like a little groove that comes in like this, and the problem was that groove was touching the pod filter. So like I said in the video, the pod filter or the intake comes down and sits in front of the wheel, which is right here, and then the bar has that little slit or groove that comes out. So when you try and put the bar back in, it actually touches the pod filter, and I don't think it actually fit properly, but I kind of forced it in. So basically the bumper and the pod filter is touching each other, like straight on touching. So I have a feeling the bumper might crack, because if I hit a little ditch or, you know, hit the bumper slightly, there's nowhere or there's no movement for the bumper to go, it's just touching the pod filter. So I got a feeling when it pushes against the pod filter a bit more, it might just crack. But other than that, as you heard, or I'm not too sure how well you can hear it in the video, the intake sounds pretty sick, especially when I downshift. Well, I didn't downshift properly or rev match properly, but when I did that, you can definitely hear it. And you know, when I was reversing, I was playing around with it, I was blimping the throttle. You can full hear the intake. So today's install was a success, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. And make sure to give this video a fat like, PHAT, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Laters. Yep, so here it is guys, as I was saying, you need to cut